When thinking of FNaF fan games, odds are you think of Five Nights at Candy's, One Night at Flumpty's, or even The Return to Freddy's. Yet when putting them all into one basket, there's one thing that makes them all the same, which is the simple and not unique point and click sit in the office type gameplay. So I thought, why not talk about completely different FNaF fan games this time? Which is why today I will be covering 3 of the most unique Five Nights at Freddy's fan games. From funny jokes to farming to a literal escape room, things get better and better as the video progresses. So why not grab some popcorn, subscribe and stick around to learn more about the most unique FNaF fan games. This is Dayshift at Freddy's 3. And thinking of unique FNaF fan games, the Dayshift at Freddy's series has got to be the game you think of. Although with the series concluding over 4 years ago, I still need to talk about it. Now, if you didn't already forget, Dayshift at Freddy's gained massive popularity when it first released, with basically all of your favorite FNaF YouTubers playing it. And as of 2019, Direct Doggo or Direct Dogman sadly discontinued the series and moved on to other things. But this doesn't discourage me from still talking about it. Also, if you're wondering why Dayshift at Freddy's 3 and not one of the predecessors, well, you guys actually voted for it. So, to be a part of something like that next time, just subscribe and look at the community tab from time to time. Other than that, let's talk Dayshift at Freddy's. Now, as many of you know, Dayshift at Freddy's 3 has a lot of endings. How many exactly? Well, from what I've counted, there are 8 different endings in this game. So, to avoid this video going on for literal hours, I will just be talking about the longest and probably canon good ending. So, the game starts off with a small cutscene of a introductional training tape by Dave Miller, or just Purple Guy. Tapes like these are going to appear every day and they're quite the fun addition, making you feel like the true owner of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. After that cutscene concludes, you're met with 2 little tutorial sections. One being the Tycoon section, where you can customize your pizzeria, then the Dayshift section, where you can explore the pizzeria you just built. Yet, after giving cake to the kids, in the true Dayshift at Freddy's fashion, the police call you and they tell you about a child abduction right outside your pizzeria. Funnily enough, here you can actually pick your name. What I love here is there are actually a lot of references to popular FNaF YouTubers if you pick their name.
Or did your parents just hate you on sight?
I bet your name sounds far worse than mine does.
That's not true. Gaylord is a lovely name.
But sadly, nothing for IceeG. Either way, after that you're sent to the Dayshift at Freddy's 2 location, where you're free to salvage one animatronic that is still in there. After you got your body, you're sent to the flip side part of this game, which is actually completely new to Dayshift at Freddy's 3. And finally, after going up 2 rooms, here's where you meet the one and only In this section we can interact with multiple things within this pizzeria. Doing so gets Dave to talk about what those things are. But that's not it. There are actual RPG type fight sections within the flip side. Finally, we can fight these goddamn animatronics. Including that, at the end of the flip side sections we always have a boss fight, which in this case would be Golden Freddy, aka the kid that died outside our location. Now, after this fight ends is where the whole game turns around. The Dave we are with now isn't actually the only Dave in this world. He is the good guy, and the bad guy Dave is somewhere out in the real world, which is why the kid was abducted in the first place. So now we're on a mission to find him. Now this is where the actual Tycoon and Dayshift section begins, as you now can choose freely on what to put in your pizzeria. Including that, you have your very own phone guy. As you change your pizzeria within the Tycoon sections, the same changes will be made to your Dayshift section. So if you put a strip club, I don't know why you would want to do that, a strip club would be added to your pizzeria within the Dayshift. Also, if you're done exploring, you can just keep searching the dining room, which will give you money, which you can then use to add more things to your pizzeria. Ah yes, economy. Speaking of that, we need to get more animatronics. So what we do is go to another location, which is where we actually find the second Dave, being Dave Trap. Now this point is where the game is separated into the good or the bad ending. You can choose to kill kids with Dave or leave him be. Right here is where I actually encourage you to play the game for yourself if you're curious in what happens in the bad ending. Or maybe just watch a YouTube video if you're that lazy, but come on. But if you want to know what happens in the good ending, then keep watching, as we're now going back to the flip side and even deeper into it. For this section of the flip side, we find the Poop It, or mainly called D, which, spoiler warning, is actually Orange Guy's sister. Right after we fight her is where we find out more about Dave's backstory and how Henry is actually the bad guy in this game. For now, however, we say goodbye to the both of them as we snap back to reality. In today's Dayshift, the health inspector, or should I say the health inspector, takes a look around the pizzeria, deeming it unsafe. However, he doesn't know that we're actually the king of bribing and we just give him money to shush. Oh, remember Dave Trap? Well, he comes back again as he so usually does, but we just flip him off and get another animatronic. Then for our next flipside section we have to recruit the phone, yet he has the power of Foxy's to stop us, or so he thought. As we can yift, now we recruited him and we're back to the Dayshift section. You can probably get the gist by now. As you go from flipside to Tycoon to Dayshift to flipside to Tycoon to Dayshift, you get the idea. Oh, and did you know you can replace your phone guy? Well, if you don't like the old one, you can get a replacement. And if you don't like the replacement, you can replace the replacement. Then Dave Trap comes back, but we again tell him to fuck off. For our second last flipside section, we meet together up with Peter, aka Orange Guy's brother, and recruit him. Last but not least, for our last Dayshift section, Dave Trap wants to outnumber us with all of the animatronics that have ever existed. But he forgot that he only has 2 brain cells and I have 3. So we burn down the entire pizzeria, leading us to our final flipside section. Remember when I talked about Henry being the evil behind Dayshift Freddy's? Well, now we as a team are here to kick his ass. And then you're done. Now it is time to say goodbye to everyone. Saying goodbye to them sure can be a bit sad, but they aren't really that special in comparison to Dave. Now I may have been talking out of my ass this entire time, but throughout playing all of these games, and I know I've only covered the third installment, you really get a special bond between you, the player, and Dave. It's a lot to cover, so I sometime in the future will have to make a video on this series. But to put in a short for this video, Dave is not only the funniest, but the best version of William Afton. There, I said it. Dayshift Freddy's free. Without a doubt, this really is a fantastic game and definitely one of my favorites. I bet you can figure out why this game is on this list, and not only is it funny as hell, it brings so many new things to the table. Sure, there are some fan games that tell you a story, but none of them do it as well as Dayshift Freddy's. Dayshift just completely nails the story aspect. Sure, it may not be the funniest out of the whole trilogy, but in my and in many of your guys' opinion, it is still the best. If any of you want me to make a video on Dayshift Freddy's as a whole, then definitely let me know in the comments. Either way, this wraps up Dayshift Freddy's. I've had more than a blast playing through this game, but for now, let's move on to the next game. The Glitched Attraction. This game has taken the FNaF free roam formula and took it onto another level. After the glitch attraction fully came out, to no one's surprise, it gained massive traction with all of the popular FNaF YouTubers playing it. It is just that unique. In the glitch attraction you will be solving puzzles along with fighting off animatronics that try to stop you. The game, like any other FNaF fan game, starts with a cutscene that is introducing us to the player and why we will even go to the Fazbear attraction in the first place. As the cutscene concludes, you're instantly met with the tutorial room of the glitch attraction. Now, this is the perfect way to explain the game and teach you the basics. And after crawling through a vent, you're met with the first out of 6 escape rooms. Each and every escape room hosts their own animatronic and somewhat difficult puzzles. So, let's begin. As the first room starts, you're met with multiple threats already. Looking to your left, you see Nightmare BB, who you'll need to flash from time to time. To your right is a window where you'll need to shut the curtains if anything appears there. And last but not least, in front of you is a giant hole that may be in correlation to the golden suit that's behind you. Firstly, you'll need to search for 2 keys to get a puzzle piece. That puzzle piece will have to be inserted in the already existing puzzle. Solving that puzzle by rearranging the pieces will get you a code that you'll need for this save. Opening that will then give you a hammer to break the wooden planks that cover the closet door. And then you're done. There sure is nothing that can kill you now. Oh wait. If you didn't already piss yourself, then now is the time, as the second escape room isn't easier. As soon as you click start, all of the lights go off, and now you need to search for sticky notes that reveal a code to you. Be careful though, Chica is roaming around the room, and if she spots you, run or hide. As soon as you get the code, turn on the switch and the lights come back on. This door activates Freddy inside his little music box. His music box is pretty similar to the puppet from FNaF 2, but here be a bit more careful as to not overwind it. Including that, Mangle can now be heard above you in the vents, so hide as soon as you hear a sound cue that will tell you that they're coming. Once again, there are a few gears scattered around the room. Find them and place them in this wall. Flip the switch and you're free to leave the second escape room. But things don't get better. This is the third escape room. Take this as a pretty much one-to-one to FNaF 3 as you're now trapped within Fazbear's frights. Animatronics in here are the same as in FNaF 3, but along with that comes Dreadbear, who'll get closer and closer to your office. If he's too close, hide under the desk as Dreadbear forgot his glasses and cannot see you. Also, be sure to not look at the phantoms, and how could I forget Springtrap? This time there are no audio lures, but doors that you can close if he's too close to you. But this isn't FNaF 3. You need to escape this room, not survive till 6 AM. So let me explain on how you do that. First, there's this code that can spawn pretty much everywhere in the room. Put this code into the keypad and retrieve this coin. Getting the coin lets you play this fun minigame. Well, fun might be a bit too kind, as this minigame is more or less a walking simulator, but it gets the point across. Oh, also be warned about Springtrap here. Now put on your best Game Theory impression, as now you need to decrypt this code. Done that? Good. Now light this place on fire and leave through this vent. But again, be careful. Unlike FNaF's sister location, it doesn't suck. Once again, all of these sister location animatronics need to be avoided. Actually, all of them except for Baby, as she isn't even assembled yet. Speaking of assembling, your task for now has you assembling Baby. But be careful though, as sometimes throughout the night you may hear this sound from either one of your doors. So just do the same as you would do in FNaF's sister location. Speaking of sister location, you may remember this sound. This sound is linked with Funtime Foxy, so shock him if he twitches. Last but not least, if you see Funtime Freddy moving off his stage, just lure him back with the Bonbon audio lure. Now, how do you actually even leave this place? Well, I spoke about it before, but I'll talk about it again. Baby needs to be assembled by ordering your parts. Sometimes, however, the parts arrive broken, so pretty simple. Just send them back and order a new one. But if they arrive non-broken, put them onto Baby and fuse them onto her by solving puzzles. After completing that, the doors are now open and you're free to leave. After the elevator crashes and Ennard arises from the dead, you met with the fifth escape room, where the main enemy is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ennard. Ennard can be seen roaming around the location, and similar to Chica, if he sees you, you'll need to run away and pull down these boards, Dead by Daylight style. For your main task of the fifth escape room, you need to find a crowbar, open up John's desk, get the keycard and open this door. As you turn on the generator, the second part of the night begins. Throughout the storage area, you may have noticed already that there are a few desks scattered around. On this desk is a PC that needs power, so insert all 3 batteries into all 3 PCs and you once again are free to leave. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 6th and final escape room. Like all of the escape rooms by now, this one is yet another escape room similar to a FNaF game, being FNaF 6, Pizzeria Simulator. Once again, there are 3 animatronics that come for you, being Scrap Baby that slowly comes towards you from inside the woods. To get rid of her, activate the repel system on the computer screen. Then there's Molten Freddy that comes through either one of these vents. Just flash the vent on which Molten Freddy is hiding in. Last but not least, Scrap Trap, who sits on this chair similar to the interviews from FNaF 6. If you see that his head is up, get ready, as he will now run towards you. What you need to do is stand outside of the building, close the door and use the call system to return him to his seat. As for tasks to complete, first complete this minigame, then find notes and enter the code on this box, grab the key and open up a door with it, get the coin, give it to Rockstar Freddy, then complete another puzzle with the piece that was inside Rockstar Freddy's mouth. And lastly, get some pliers and open up the fence to leave the Fazbear attraction. So, the glitched attraction. Now, I know there's a bit more to this game that I didn't cover, like a glitch key that leads to a hidden room, or the final end cutscene, but I simply just don't want to spoil the surprise. Also, the visuals. Holy crap, the visuals in this game are fantastic. Every escape room in this game is so well made, and even for the completionists out there are 3 pages of achievements you can complete. Without a doubt, this makes sense for being the best FNaF fan game for some people. Either way, that wraps up the glitch attraction. This game is without a doubt one of the most unique FNaF fan games ever created. But don't click off this video yet, as there is one more game on this list. Tyke & Sons Slumber Company by Mixless. Tyke & Sons isn't only a sequel to one of Scott's older games, but a mix with it and Five Nights at Freddy's. If the name Mixless doesn't sound familiar to you, well then it should, as I have covered one of his older games in my latest video. Other than that, Tyke & Sons first gained a little bit of traction when it came out, but not really that much. It first gained massive popularity when fairly popular YouTuber Yeah made a video about it, which really made the game explode in popularity. And even though he already covered it, I still want to talk about it. Also, before I do that, since you made it this far, you know the drill, why not type coconut in the comments to confuse the other viewers? Also, I'll heart every comment who types this. But for now, let's get back into Tyke & Sons. Now, if you didn't know the game already, you might be wondering why this is even a FNaF fan game, when it looks more like a Chipper & Sons fan game. Well, as soon as you're done with your day shift, the night sessions begin. In here you fight off the animatronic in a similar way to FNaF 4, but more on that later. Once again, the game starts with a cutscene. In this cutscene, we learn about what happened in Chipper & Sons and how Chipper went missing. Chipper's son, Tyke, now has a son called Mike, who we play as. Tyke now tells you that you are now the guy to run the business. And so the day shift starts. For the first day, there aren't a lot of tasks for you to do, as you'll only learn the basics, being planting trees, chopping down trees, crafting lumber, killing these little things to earn presents, which I might add are fantastic, and building things. With the somewhat bare bones gameplay, it'll easily get you hooked and understand how the game plays. Games like Postshift 2 or SCP The Endurance have too many mechanics that you can't properly memorize. So once again, Tyke & Sons nails this perfectly. Even if you don't know what to do, there is this walkie-talkie that tells you exactly what task you need to do. And for final task of day 1, Tyke needs you to build 2 Chippomat 1.0s. And I'm not even mentioning how perfectly this flows into the night sections. But since the night sections get really complicated later on, I will for now tell you a bit more about the following days. So not only are the day sections long, like really long, the island you can explore is massive. From the woods to a city to a snowy area to a beach to even a hidden underground club and a lot of other places I don't want to spoil for you guys. So I think you get how massive this island really is. Along with that, the blueprint catalog gets a few more pages added to it. All in all, there are 30 pages of things you can build, which is crazy. Also, before building them, they actually tell you what you'll get when placing them. Then while exploring, you're faced with one of the many boss fights within this game. Yes, not only does this game have bosses, it has 6 different bosses at that. Along with that, each day has one if not more mini games you can complete, from swimming underwater to shooting Chippomats in the face. Now, if I were to tell you everything you needed to do in all of the days, then this video would probably 1 hour long. And I don't think anyone would actually want to watch that. So to make things better for you and me, I will just cover the most important things. Every day there are different tasks to do, such as building structures for people, completing minigames for rewards, and fighting bosses. Including that, throughout the day, one NPC will always mention an animatronic that has gone missing. That animatronic will then appear within the night sections. So before going in said night sections, I want to sum up the day sections. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of grinding needing to be done throughout this game. Yet I find this gameplay to not be bad at all. Not a lot of fan games have this type of grinding, if any at all, which is the reason why I put this game on this list in the first place. Dayshift 33 and Tyke & Sons are both just the better versions of the Tycoon sections of FNaF 6. And because I can't put it away any longer, I will now cover the night sections of Tyke & Sons Slumber Co. The transition between the day and the night sections couldn't be any smoother, as we get the small later that night cutscene and then we're instantly thrown into the action. Now when I said this is similar to FNaF 4, I really meant it. Not only is it also inside your house, it too can be scary as fuck. So you have 4 directions that you can go to. To the left and to the right are both a way to go to your window. If you go to said window, you can either flash your flashlight or close the curtain. As you can probably tell, once you see someone by the window, you'll need to close the curtains immediately. And at the start of the second night, you can access the front door. At the door you can use your flashlight out on the right or the left side of the door window. And last but not least, we have the bedroom behind you. This one thing can completely fuck you over, as for the first couple of nights the bedroom is pretty much a complete safe zone, where you can either end the night or right click on these batteries to fuel up your flashlight. Yet on one night, I won't say which one, once you go up to your bed, there is a chance that this guy can be seen sitting on your bed. If you see him, then there's a small window of time that lets you flick your mouse down. And if you don't go back, well, then this happens. So what the hell, you build up trust with the bedroom, knowing or at least thinking nothing can happen to you upstairs, and then boom, you see this guy on your bed. Like damn, this is awesome. So I won't completely go into all of the animatronics, though what you'll need to know is when you get rid of an animatronic, sometimes the sleep assurance meter goes up. If you have 8 full cubes on your sleep assurance meter, then you can go to sleep. You'll hear either 1.0 or 3.0 knocking at either one of the windows. So what you need to do is just look for them and close the curtains. By the way, 2.0 doesn't knock, so be cautious. Last but not least, when I talked about the animatronics that the NPCs talk about, well, each and every one of them will appear in the same night and onward. But I won't tell you exactly what they do, since I don't want to ruin the surprise. So, Tyke and Sons. Without a doubt, I really love this game. Like Dayshift of Freddy's and the glitch attraction, it too has to be in my favorites. Not only that though, 100% completing the game is so much fun and it would take you a lot of hours. There's 6 different trophies and a full custom night that you can complete. So for my completionists out there, I gotta say one thing, good luck. Also, even though I talked a lot about this game, there's so much more things for you to do. So definitely go check this out if you can. Either way, this wraps up Tyke and Sons Lumber Co. I firstly wanted to do one video on it, but decided against it since a few people, mainly have already done it. And that wraps up 3 of the most unique FNaF fan games. Do you know more FNaF fan games that aren't only point and click, sit in the office type games? Well, if so, then let me know by commenting it down in the comment section. Also, while you're down there, why not hit that subscribe button, the bell, as well as the like button. As for today's video, we're again aiming on about 1000 likes. Either way, I still hope you enjoyed today's video, and peace.
Scariest Jumpscares. Scary Alerts. Número 1.